You are now tuned in to iLLANOiZE Radio.
Yo, what's the word? It's the boy Illinois Jones. And I got my sister on the left, Pretty Riot.
You know what's up?
Biko somewhere soiling, doing something with his family. I don't know where this guy is.
Dad.
He's being busy because he's always busy. But as always, we bring y'all the dopest talent, not just in the city, but
from around the globe. You just butchered the shit out of that, but it's okay.
It's the Jack. But anyway, it's the Jack. We cool.
We great.
You do it. Let me see.
Okay, you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah, do it.
It's your girl, Pretty Riot, and you already know it's that time where we bring you some of the illest guests from around the city and the globe. Right now, we sitting with Intellect. Yeah, I've been forgetting that we supposed to clap on that part.
Yeah, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm blessed. Highly favored. How y'all doing?
How you feel?
I feel great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for
feels
stopping
good.
by.
So can I explain like how this interview happened?
Go right ahead. Take
When the beginning of the pandemic, right?
The panoramic.
Yeah, the beginning of that thing, right? I had the Verzuz thing was just being fresh.
Right.
So everybody had their own version.
Did you battle him?
Oh, of course.
Did you win?
Oh, of course.
No,
you feel me?
That's cap.
Okay, tell me more about the Verzuz.
You feel me?
What artist did y'all versus?
Wayne and Fab.
Who had Wayne?
He had Wayne.
That's a body. You know that. Look at her face. That's a body.
He didn't play the right Wayne songs,
Hold
though.
on, because I was on Clubhouse and I was witnessing the Wayne versus Kanye battle, and the person that was playing Wayne songs was like low key missing because they wasn't picking
Playing
the right songs.
It's about the Wayne.
It's about your selection.
He didn't pick the right Wayne songs.
Yep.
Did you play Ask Them Hoes?
Nope.
No.
Oh, goodbye.
The playlist is on iLLANOiZE.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I might have to go get. I mean, go.
He said, "Yeah."
I might have to go engage in some recreational activities to that.
But then after we got the battle off, and we.
So how did that? I mean, okay, not to move. We're not gonna skate past that. Like
Right.
that's just normal. So how did y'all? So do y'all? Okay, y'all know each other in real life?
No.
Y'all friends?
Well, I found out that because I have a habit of going through like my Instagram, like from my very first post. And he was commenting under the shit and liking the shit I was doing when I was interning for Windy City.
Facts.
And I'm like, yo, dude, you've been following me for you've been rocking with me and showing love for a long time. Like, what is it that you do? And he was like, oh, I'm a rapper. And I'm like, nigga, you could have been told me you were a rapper. Like, he never sent me no music or tagged me in anything. So I just thought he was just a cool person. So I'm like, yo, whatever I could do to help, let me know. And he was like, well, when it's time, I'm going to let you know. And he came at me like a year later. It was like, I got a project coming out. I'm like, say less. And we here. Man, we here.
That's a fact.
I can say that. I remember talking to you in the DMs before.
Yes.
And I'm like, that was when I was telling niggas not to DM me.
That was a long
That was
time
no.
ago.
You
Yeah.
kind of caught me on before I was receptive to people because I'm like, honestly, y'all are overwhelming me. Like, it wasn't like you personally. It was just like too many people, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's a link to submit. Like, stop asking me.
Well, this is the hottest show in Chicago, so everyone's
I
trying to
get
get
that
up
now.
here.
I get that now.
But yeah, for real. It's just genuine love, man. I feel like that's the key. Just showing genuine love and seeing people who's passionate about what they do.
Yeah.
I can resonate with that. So,
and that's what really pushed me to like, oh, he been showing genuine love to me.
Right, because I mean, you
Let
said
me
he
just-
been in tune with you since you've been on.
I had dreads.
Right, so that was a long time ago. I'm not gonna try to. I'm
2016. I cut my dreads in
I
2016.
wasn't gonna put this time out there. Okay, so I want to know more about you then. So if you've been working with Jones since at least 2016, when did you start making music? How did you get your influence? Like, when did music start for you?
well, music originally started for me when I was younger. So I was doing a lot of poetry. I was writing poetry to get the girls at the time. So I was,
Are you a poet? We'll have to talk about
No. I'm not.
Hold on,
You're the poet.
Cause I'm like, I'm a poet. I'm a poet.
What was your go-to poem for the chicks?
It was roses are red, violets are blue.
You a bad bitch and I love you.
Hey, something along those lines. But I was like in third grade, so it was something like really basic.
Okay.
But that's what I was doing to try to get the girls. And then I ended up going into band. I was playing a lot of instruments. So I was playing the trumpet. I dabbled with the piano, the drums.
What was your
all that
favorite?
stuff.
I don't want to cut you off,
Go
but
ahead.
what was your favorite instrument to play? Because I low-key was in choir and I sing band in high school.
See?
So like,
Yeah.
I played the flute for a little while, but it was like because we had to, like for a test. So like, what was your favorite instrument to like pick? I ain't gonna say favorite if it was forced, but like, what instrument did you take to the most?
I say the trumpet. I want to be like Coltrane or something. I was, into stuff like that. But I quickly grew out of that. Like,
do you feel like that expanded your musical palette? And like now as an artist, like when you think about yourself now as an artist, do you like kind of pay homage to a bit of your musical background through how you? Because I mean, like most people don't play instruments, and I think music with actual instrumentation is rare, but it's dope as fuck to me. So like, do you feel like that has some type of impact in how you maybe choose your beat selection or how you decide to flow?
Yeah, I definitely think the beat selection for sure, because instrumentation and arrangement, I think it really helped me with arrangement, hearing all the instruments together in band and practicing, okay, this comes in here, building up and things of that nature, and being able to kind of read music. Now you can put a music sheet in front of me, I ain't gonna know what it says because it's been so long. That was like 7th grade, but at the time, I could see that built me up to where I am now. So where when I hear a beat, I can hear a certain thing like, man, a sax would be dope here, or horns would be dope here, or let's take it out during this part and add it in during the chorus or the hook, something like that. So those are really my influences. And then from there, I think in 8th grade, I put out my first freestyle to put on.
Oh, 8th grade, you was starting out
Yeah, by Jeezy. That was my first freestyle.
You remember the
terrible.
words?
No, it was terrible. Like, I had a camera. I held it next to the computer.
Now, my thing is this.
Like,
was it really terrible or was it good for an 8th grader? Is it terrible now because you looking back at it grown, or was it, like, dope for an 8th grader? Because, like, I used to be a summer camp counselor, and I used to hear some of my kids, get their little raps off. And I'm like, for a 10-year-old that don't know much about life, you love that bar.
Right.
So was you getting off as an 8th grader?
I think at that time, I was really into Kanye. Speaking of influences, like, Kanye was, like, the one. Chicago, he different. Like, he ain't on no streets, whatever. So I was trying to be like him too much, where I'm singing like I got auto-tune. I ain't got no auto-tune. You beating your chest, singing into a fan and stuff. You know what I mean? I was doing too much. Looking
I would
back,
pay so much money. I would pay so much money.
I've never heard that. I've heard the singing into the fan, but I ain't never heard the beating on your chest.
That's how you get a little effect.
Let me see what we have tonight.
The kids today will never know about that.
Man, so we didn't have auto tune like that. That was like a dream. Like, you know what I mean? We couldn't do that. So from there, I kept dabbling with it, but I would say in college is when I took it serious, because I went to college. I went to Western Illinois University. I was a freshman, and I popped out here and there, but I found myself like, man, I just enjoyed being locked in creating music. Like, I get the most excitement and joy in doing that. And I think that's when I started taking it serious around 2012.
Okay, so you entered Western in 2012.
Yes.
So do you feel like it was easier for you to build a community on a college campus opposed to if you would have just been in the city?
Yes, I do. I wouldn't say easier, because I think it depends on the city. Like for Chicago specifically, I think being in the city more, community, I feel like once we see your face and we can put a name to the face, I feel like you get more recognition from that. So I would say that, but in college, I was around.
Like, did you do shows and like, because I went to SIU, so like I was in an organization where we put together open mic. So like, I don't know about the culture of that at other schools, but did you guys have stuff like that at Western where you would be able to, like I said, create your own community? Like these people come out and they actually fuck with my music based on me performing, whether it's once a month or every week or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. So we had a couple of open mics. I remember I won with this one song I had called B.I.G. It was like kind of a little cheesy song, but at the time it was just like catchy, like kind of reminiscent of Kanye, a little bit of J. Cole, Kendrick, a little Drake, like singing influence into it. But at the time, people really liked it, gravitated towards it, and I won some talent shows. So that's when I kind of knew, like, hey, I can actually kind of do this. Like, people, they're gravitating towards it. They're looking at me as like, hey, that's the kid that can rap. Hey, that's the kid that makes good music. So at that point, that's when I really said, okay, I'm gonna take this serious and kind of use college to kind of learn more about the business, network with people that know about the business, and and that's when I kind of fell in love with it.
Before we go any further, we gonna talk about this song you got called Morning Light.
Yes, sir.
Like, what's the concept behind this song Morning Light that you have?
So Morning Light is inspired by beautiful, gorgeous women. It's a song dedicated to them.
If you made a song about me, just say
that. It is about pretty women, Pretty Riot. But it's just about being sensual and kind of seducing the ladies, saying we can be passionate into the morning light. I'm trying to go all night with you like this. That's really what the song is about.
Who produced this joint?
This guy named Lasan, he produced it.
All right, go ahead. We finna get into it right here, right now. Go ahead and introduce the song, my brother.
All right, this is Intellect, the name you can't forget, and this is my latest song, Morning Light. Enjoy it.
Right here on iLLANOiZE Radio. Don't go nowhere.
Make sure to check out the iLList playlist, in which we provide you with the latest tracks we play live on our show. Head over to Spotify and search iLLANOiZE Radio to follow our playlist, as well as follow our podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Pretty Riot, and you are tuned in to iLLANOiZE Radio. And as you know, we live every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Right now, I'm sitting pretty, starting some riots off the jack here on iLLANOiZE Radio. Before the break, we were sitting down with Intellect, and I have a question that I've been waiting to ask you. Like, honestly, I should have asked it first. How did you get your name? Because I ain't gonna lie, Intellect is not the most interesting name. Like people think Intellect and it's like dictionary. You think the smart kid in class. So like, right. What made you pick that as your rapper name, considering that would be so much different from the lil this, lil that, So what made you choose your name?
Ironically, you kind of gave the answer in the question.
Shit,
it was really just about being different, like really standing out. I mean, that's something you hear Intellect. You don't think a rapper.
So do you have an abbreviation with your name, or is that just your Instagram name?
Nah, that's my name. The RFG is it's like what I'm rocking. It's
what does that mean? Because I didn't want to be like, I hope I'm not leaving something out. So what does RFG mean? Because I know that's a part of your IG name.
Yes, it means recognize future greatness. It's actually my company. I do clothing and stuff like that.
Okay.
So recognize future greatness. My grandma called it reaching for God. So either one you want to do, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, recognize future greatness. And Intellect, I just wanted to be different. I feel like my music kind of speaks on my perspective. So I touch on my views and my point of view on certain things, and I feel like it can relate and touch your intellect. And I really want to challenge you to either think, feel, interpret, understand something different. So I feel like Intellect stood out. And then when I was rapping one day, back in the younger days, after the put-ons and stuff like that, I said, it's Intellect, the name you can't forget. And that just stuck. And I feel like it kind of turned into a life of its own, where I kind of kept that mantra. Yeah,
so what was your name before Intellect?
Ooh, I don't even know if I want to say that. It was
No, go ahead and get it off on iLLANOiZE Radio.
It was KOS.
Oh no,
what that mean?
Kings of Swag. So that's.
I'm glad you changed it. Imagine it being 2021 and we be like, we sit down with Kings of Swag.
We just call them KOS.
Yeah, I would definitely call you KOS. I wouldn't even ask you how you got to KOS if I knew it was King of Swag.
Nah, Kings of Swag. That was terrible. That's back when I was wearing the shutter shades.
With the double polo.
You was dressing like Kanye.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can look you see it.
I never see nobody in the hood with a shutter shade.
I can see him dressed like Kanye.
I was all the way in. I had the shutter shades. I was on the Rosewood when he was wearing suits. I was going to school dressed up like I was all the way in.
I would love to see some high school pictures.
I burned all those. You can't find it. I deleted Facebook, MySpace, gone.
I was just about to say, because Facebook would have gone.
Look, when you get rich, it's going to come back up.
It's going to come out. But
I can't wait.
Hey, I still was handsome, so it don't matter.
Oh, bro.
So what have you learned about balancing music and fashion?
That is a great question. Really, I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand, especially in Chicago. Like, I feel like our culture is kind of based on fashion, music, and it kind of go hand in hand. We have a lot of prominent fashion places, a lot of prominent fashion people that have, I think, in my opinion, has changed the culture. And the music, that's not even a conversation. Of course, like, we've shifted everything. In my opinion, we've done that. So, to me, music is my main focus. I would never call myself a fashion designer, or I'm creating anything that is like of that nature. It's just really, for me, merch and a brand that can empower someone. So our mantra for RFG, Recognize Future Greatness, is be great. So I want you to wear this and feel like you're great in whatever you do, and you can be great in whatever you do. So really, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Kind of like, obviously I'm not comparing myself, but kind of like the marathon with Nipsey, God bless the dead, something like that. It was kind of like more of a movement than it was like fashion and clothing.
Right.
Of course, it grew into a line and things of that.
Right.
But initially, it's just like, hey, this is what I use.
It was more so like a lifestyle.
Exactly. This is what my lifestyle is. RFG, being great. recognize future greatness, claiming it, speaking it into existence, and truly believing it, and then representing it in everything you do.
Do you feel like it's weird pushing something so positive, considering that the media kind of does push the opposite? Like we've talked about, our break, we talked about how we feel like your sound may be like this or that, but like, do you feel like by you pushing such a positive message that it may like hinder you a bit because you're not necessarily riding the wave?
I don't think it will hinder me necessarily, but I do think it will be the narrow path. I already know, and I kind of accepted that it's going to take people to a while to catch on. But I do think the message that I'm bringing is not so much like super positive, super happy-go-lucky. Really, it's more like just a positive outlook and kind of just positive inspiration.
It's still like reasonable. It's
reasonable.
It's not to the point where it's just like so positive that it's like.
Yeah, it's not so positive where it's like, man, this is kind of corny or this seems like kind of not authentic, because I never want to come off where it's like, hey, I'm happy. Hey, I'm the standard of good. Like, because I'm not. I'm definitely flawed. Definitely have a lot.
It's your truth.
Yeah, it's just my truth, and I just feel like I speak my truth and the truth of others that people tell me, what I see, the environment, and my thoughts on it, and my perspective, and my intellect. No pun intended. But, that's really where it comes from, and I know and understand that it's going to be a harder road, but I feel like it's kind of worth it. I feel like it's needed. I feel like balance. Kind of needed,
It seemed like when you were starting your rollout for your project, you COVID hit.
Yep.
I wanted to know like what changes did you have to make during this whole pandemic? Because it seemed like at the time you was coming out, you built up the resources to where you needed them to be, and now finally you about to release it, and it's like COVID hits. Like, what did COVID do to you as an artist? Like, how did it affect you as an artist?
Man, COVID, that's a great question. COVID really halted a lot of things I had planned, specifically on the visual side. I had built a budget up to where finally I was going to be able to do a bunch of videos, but we couldn't get any venues, obviously, because everything was closed. So it really just made me go back to the drawing board and think, what are the best ways and most effective ways to be creative, keep people engaged, especially during this time. It's a tragic time. People are passing away. People are getting sick. I mean, people didn't know what was going on. There's a lot of hysteria, confusion. So, it really just challenged me to be more creative and tap into that and keep working. So during that time, I really focused on making the best project I could. And I feel like I did that. And I feel like I went in, made the best project. And I feel like it was divine timing. Because honestly, before COVID, I really didn't have an idea of like my team and who I wanted to work with and trust with my vision. During COVID, I found those same people who were still trying to work and be on that during that time.
Right.
And then, we're still in COVID, but kind of things are opening up now. I feel like now it's like the perfect time, and I'm right in stride. And I feel like the type of music I make is going to be good to listen to coming out of COVID, if that makes sense.
So, like, what I want to know, like, have you done any shows before COVID?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was doing shows. I was doing a lot of like open mics. I was like heavy in the open mic scene. Like, I remember I had printed out a list of like every open mic in Chicago every day of the week, and I was hitting every single one every day of the week, like going at like 9, 10, 11 o'clock, then going to sleep, going to work, doing all this stuff.
Do you prefer to do, because I'm an open mic person, so I enjoy that intimate vibe. So do you prefer, getting your shit off at open mics, or do you prefer to perform at an actual show where you have a set?
Preferably a set, because with my set, I feel like I have more freedom to be creative. Like, I'm a guy that likes visuals accompanying me. I like to have like a theme and a storyline.
You got all the stops. You rolling out all the stops.
Right, yeah. And that's really what I'm big on as an artist, is really into storylines, themes. And so definitely doing a show is for me more fulfilling. But open mic, I feel like it's a challenge, because 9 times out of 10, unless you're a regular, they don't know you.
So it's like getting them to catch their vibe.
Yeah, it's a good test to see, okay, will this work in this setting? Will this work in this setting? And I feel like, kind of like we hear comedians talk about all the time, like, I got to go on the road and build this material and work it out in little small hole-in-the-wall places before I bring it to the stage. So then I can say, okay, this song will work better when I get to the show when I get to that crowd. So
Okay, I got a random question. Have you ever performed at an open mic and you felt like you gave it your all, but then the crowd, like after you got done, the crowd was like very non-responsive?
oh my goodness, absolutely.
How do you overcome that feeling? Because one thing I know about Chicago crowds in general is that like Chicago people will be fucking with you, but we don't necessarily know how to show it, in that moment. Sometimes, like, unless it's a very mainstream song that we know the words to that we gonna turn up to, then we show it. But, like, how does it feel knowing that you've been in spaces and you gave a great set, but for motherfuckers to not, like, show you how much they just fucked with the song, even though you can tell afterwards, I was liking that shit. I was rocking with it.
Right. That's a great question. I would say really is just reminding yourself to keep giving it your all, no matter if one person is paying attention or locked in, or if the whole crowd is locked in. And I feel like if I can win 5 people out of 25 that's here, that's a win to me. I mean, like, to me, that's what I look at it.
That's
like,
5 new fans.
That's 5 new. That's really what I was trying to do. And then I also have learned that know your crowd, know your audience. Like, I remember in 8th grade, I was doing an open mic. I was doing like a performance at the school. And at the time, at this open mic, it was like a totally white crowd. So I decided to do like a super Black Power song, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's like super Black Power.
I want to make the white folks uncomfortable,
like,
so I applaud you for doing that.
I had like pictures of slavery in the background, like saying like, yo, this is what we dealt with. And I'm here, so after they're like, clapping all like, what?
Uncomfortable,
just, you know what I mean? But at the time, I was like, man, if I would have did this, I have this pop record I could have easily did. I know they would love it. So it's really just kind of knowing your crowd, filling them out, and like even going to, figuring that out.
But you left.
Do you feel like that's knowing
you left a piece of you with them.
Yeah.
They gonna know that forever.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm like. Is that an instance of knowing your crowd, or is that an instance of pushing your limits? You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to perform a pop song for a crowd of folks that gonna receive a pop song well. Mm-hmm. But I think it's different when you go into a space where it's just like, I'm gonna make you guys. I don't even want to call it uncomfortable, but I'm gonna make you listen to something that you're not used to.
Yeah, I think it's a balance of both. I think. Looking back, I feel like, man, that was a good thing I did. It was courageous at the time. I mean, I didn't really know it, but I feel like it was courageous at the time. But I think it's a good balance. You just got to figure out the balance of when to do something, when not to do it, how much to do it. Like, I think I could have did both. I think I could have started with that, gave him that intellect. I hate to keep using that pun, but gave him that, and then went into the pop just to kind of like, not ease them over, but kind of show balance it out and show my range and diversity.
So like with your project, Intellect Volume 2.
Yes, Volume 2.
So like, what's the difference?
Wait, I think we should go to break.
You want to go to break?
Yeah, because I only say that because we haven't really talked about your mindset and like what goes into your projects. Mm-hmm. And I know we need to play a couple songs and let the people hear some music that you've been making. So I don't want to
So we got Benji Blue
mm-hmm.
featuring you and Asa.
Yes,
two times.
Shout out Asa 2
Like,
times.
how did this connection happen?
Man, me and
that's an interesting connection. I want to hear the song because like Asa 2 times and the intellect on the song sounds pretty interesting.
And that's the thing. To me, it's like the best of both worlds. I feel like the name kind of gives me a certain stigma where it's like I don't turn up, I don't like certain things. So I kind of want to break that mold. And I met him around the Nothing I Won't Do era when that song kind of first hit. And it was like a listening release party. And my cousin Nayar, shout out Nayar.
Nayar creates?
Shout out Nayar.
Nayar creates your cousin.
Yeah. So he introduced me to him. So we were just talking.
Makes sense.
And I told him like, man, I love this song. Like, you got it, bro. Like, you got to push this. And he was like, yeah. And then from there, we just kept in contact. I always showed him genuine. Again, it goes back to like genuine love. Like, really, I never saw us doing a song because our music was so different. But then the song came, the opportunity, I heard the beat. I did the verse and the hook, and I'm like, man, Asa, you would be so cold on this because it's, blending of two different styles, two different genres. So I think it's a match made in heaven, and hopefully iLLANOiZE agrees.
Who produced it?
My guy, 98 produced it.
All right, go ahead and introduce the song, bro.
Man, this is Benji Blue featuring Asa 2 times by yours truly, Intellect, the name you can't forget. Only on iLLANOiZE Radio. Let's get it.
Ow.
The iLLANOiZE app is available now on Apple and Google Play Store. Download the app, get the latest news, stream our podcasts, watch interviews, and listen to iLLANOiZE Radio live. Download the app right now. Make sure to check out.
Welcome to iLLANOiZE Radio. It's the one and only Illinois Jones, and right now you're tuned into the dopest thing that hit the street since crack cocaine. Got my sister Pretty Ride in the building.
What's up,
and we
y'all?
still got Intellect in the building with us, kicking it hard, stumping it hard in charge. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Happy to be here. Good vibes, good energy.
I know, right? And you ain't even drinking with us.
I'm not yet. We're going to toast after.
Now we feel drunk.
Nah, I don't feel drunk. I don't. I'm not going to say that.
Jones, you're supposed to agree with me.
I can't.
So
I can't say
like
that. I can't say that. I gotta stay with my energy.
Woosah.
You hear me? I can't let them know I'm off my rocker. You hear me? We got company. Who phone is that? Please put your phone on silent. Thank you kindly. If anybody, not everybody. Thank you. We got Intellect in the building. And before we went to break, I was going to get into the concept of asking you about your project.
Yes.
But, you know, my sister was over here. She was in her zone, hitting you with bam, bam. She was going to work. She was like Kobe tonight, going for 81. And I didn't want to interrupt her, you feel me, in her flow.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, because I really haven't really heard the full volume 1 yet. Mm-hmm. But I've heard some songs from volume 1. Mm-hmm. And I can hear the maturity in both. Mm-hmm. I want to know, like, what was the difference in working on each project?
That's a great question. So for volume 1, I think that was my first project where I said, hey, I'm going to really showcase what I can do. I felt like I was kind of limiting myself and I wasn't really showing everything I had. So I think that was kind of like the younger mentality version of me putting out music. And I think for volume 2, I think this is a culmination of all that combined. Because after volume 1, Rap Superhero, I put out a project called Intellectus Power. And that was my most popular project by far. A lot of people gravitated towards that. One of my biggest songs on there was Faded, and people just loved it. So I felt like, okay, I showed I can do something cohesive with Intellectus Power. Now let me follow up Rap Superhero Volume 1 with Volume 2 to show the growth and kind of just show my talent. That's really what Volume 2 is about. And Rap Superhero, saying like, hey, I'm Rap Superhero. I can do anything, any style. I can rap. I can sing. I can do the hook, the chorus. I can write everything, even if it's for another singer. Like, it's really just kind of me kind of like beating my chest and saying, hey, let me be great. Let me show what I got.
You went from beating your chest to get the auto-tune sound to beating your chest like I could do
See?
this.
You with me. It's coming full circle.
You feel me?
You see the vision.
So what's the recording process for you, like, or the writing process for you creating a song? What's that process like for you?
So initially what I do is I lock in with beats, like get a batch of beats, and I just play them. And typically I just start trying to find the melody. So I would either hum, sing the melody or whatever, and I do like a voice recording on my phone. So that's like my go-to. Like I probably have like hundreds of voice recordings on my phone, just kind of like saving melodies when I first hear the beat, because I feel like that's when I'm most creative.
Right.
Like typically it's early in the morning, early Saturday morning, and I probably start at like 7 a.m., and I probably won't stop until like 5. Like that's when I'm most creative for some strange reason, like early in the morning. And then, I just go from there. I write down the melody, start with the words, and then I feel like the verses, I feel like that's kind of easy. Not saying it's easy, but I feel like rapping, I feel like that's kind of more, I can do that, like plug and play, like, but I feel like the hooks is, for me, that I want to.
Is that,
do
you feel
done.
like that's the more difficult part of creating a song? Because I feel like song structure is very important.
Yeah, I think the hook is, to me, is like,
not necessarily difficult, but you feel like it's the time that you spend the most time on because you know how important the hook is.
Definitely, especially for songs that you want to be your single, songs that you want to kind of stand out. Like for Benji Blue, I had a totally different hook on that. Like I probably redid the hook like 3-4 times because I thought like, man, it's just too much, or it sounds too much like this, or nah, it ain't what I want. Like at first, I think I was trying to do like some Playboy Cardi super high pitched voice, like something that's like, man, that ain't you. They gonna hear that and know.
I was
that's
about to say,
not
I hope you
authentic.
didn't see how I just rolled my eyes.
I know that would have
see.
been trash. That would have been trash.
So how do you know as an artist, like when a song or when a feature or when a chorus or a hook is done?
That is a great question. I feel like when I can listen to it, because usually when I cut a record, after it's mixed or anything, I drive around to it probably for like 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks, and I just listen to it over and over. And then, you know, sometimes that's a gift and a curse because I know you can.
That makes sense though, because it's like if I can't listen to it over and over again,
nobody else will.
Will other people be able to? So
and plus, you want to listen to the fix. You know, I want to fix this.
Yeah, I want to fix this. I got to change this, and then sometimes Slick, what I be doing, I be asking for the aux, and I'll play like 5 super popular songs. Then I'll just throw that in there just to see how people react. Like, do they move to it? Do they get on their phone, put their head down? Then you know, like, oh, this ain't it. You know what I mean? So just little things like that. And then I have a certain trust. My aunt, my mom, like people like that. My homies, like they'll keep it real
your mom's rocking with your music.
My mom, she keep it a stack with me, and my aunt for sure. My aunt Cindy, she really keep it a stack. She'll tell me
Cindy,
like,
you just said her name,
man, because I had to, man.
They be rocking.
Man,
they be listening to the rock.
Aunt Cindy sound like she tell him, "Nah, baby, that ain't."
Aunt Cindy sound like she still be in the club. Like, yo, that joint knocking. Like, yo, nephew, send me that. I need that. I like how it sound in my whip.
Man, my mom be my mom be listening to, like, my mom and my dad, like my whole like brothers, sisters, all them. They listen to the radio and stuff, so they know what they like. They know kind of what's current and what's popular. So they compare me to that. So they be like, maybe that's not it. Man, that would sound like it would be good. So
what song of yours did they like that you wasn't expecting them to like?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would probably say Faded. I just felt like, because my family, they're not really super big drinkers, so it's like, it's just no way this is something. I'm talking about drinking and smoking and, you know, what happens when we're faded
it's like,
together.
how can y'all relate to this?
Yeah, it's like, it's something I don't know. Something you're not telling me? Like, I don't even want to know, but they just really like that, like, to the point where I saw my grandma and grandpa singing, like, faded. Whoa.
What does that feel like? Okay, so what does that feel like as a local independent artist to look around you and see your peers and your family, like, actually vibing to your music? Because it's one thing to be making music and it not be good, you know, because the people around you will low-key show that too.
Right.
So it's another thing, I feel like, for you to actually be doing it and like getting generations of people to rock with your sound. So like, what does that actually feel like for you, and how does that motivate you to keep going?
It feels great. I feel like that's the best feeling, especially when I have a beautiful daughter, so she's also my litmus test. So I play a song for her because she, like, you know,
your litmus test.
Yes,
yeah.
Man, if she don't like it, then I know it's trash. That's how I know. Like, if she don't like it, she don't move to it, because she don't know. She just hear the beat, and if it's catchy, she'll move to it. So really, it's just interesting. I had a song on Intellectus Power called "Go." It's like a kind of like a R&B pop type song, really up tempo, and I knew it was the one kind of early when my grandma liked it, and then my mom liked it, my little sisters liked it, and then my daughter likes it. So I'm like, okay, maybe I have something here.
It's touching different generations.
It's touching different generations, no matter, and they can all kind of relate to it because it's about love. You want to go, you don't want to hold back. You know, it's kind of broad topics like that. So just seeing that, it's like, man, okay, I got something. If, you know,
that's
a lot of generations can rock with it, and yeah,
that's dope, man. For you to have a daughter, does that make you put out watch what type of content you put out?
Man, I don't know if it makes me watch what type of content, because I don't think my content was ever kind of like
so even trying to,
because even how like Jay-Z was like, oh, I'm not gonna say bitch no more when I got, you know, when Blue Ivy was born. So like, did it made you just be more conscious of your lyrics, like exactly what you're putting out into the world, because you know your daughter she may absorb that one day. Excuse me.
I think that's a great question. I really feel like it pushed me to, it kind of motivated me to go harder, and I don't think it really changed my content, because like I was saying before, like my content, I really don't have too much where it's like
too wild.
It's like, ugh, like you cringe when you hear it. You know, I don't think it's too wild. But one thing I will say, it did motivate me and kind of change my perspective on what I was doing. It's like, okay, if this is something I want to do, I really got to do it and get my all into it and make sure I'm putting out something that I can stand on, even if it's something that, you know, maybe not at her young age right now, she should be listening to. But when she gets older, I can explain. We can sit down and have a conversation. Like, it's a bunch of songs my mom would not listen to because it's too crazy. Or like my friend, like, ooh, you said that? Like More Than Life, for example. Like, I don't want to hear that.
Right.
But when they, you know, we can have the conversation of why I'm making it, why I'm saying certain things. Like, I'm not afraid to stand on anything I say or do. So that's why I feel like, because it's authentic, it's my truth, it's who I am and what I really believe. So
That's valid.
It's authentic. It's your truth. Before we get up out of here, man, you gotta let the people know like when they will be, where they can go to hear volume 2, when they will be able to hear volume 2, and let them know what you got coming up as far as videos, shows, or anything else like that, man, and where they can find you at too, if features, business, anything.
Okay, bet. Well, if you want to get in tune and hear the latest of Intellect, my Instagram is @IntellectRFG. That's IntellectRFG. My website is rfgreatness.com. Intellect on Apple Music, Spotify, all that. The link is in the bio on the Instagram, so you can just tap in with me there. The Benji Blue and Morning Light official video is out right now. That's on my YouTube. Also, Intellect RFG. So really, you can just put Intellect RFG in, and you'll find everything attached to me. And that's coming soon in the album. I can't get a date just yet. I'm still trying to finalize a few things, but trust, I'm going to drop one more video, possibly, for you guys. And I got something special coming this week, so I look forward to it.
Before we get up out of here, we're going to playing around.
Yes.
Who produced that joint?
Man, my guy Marco, he produced that joint.
All right, what was the concept behind this joint, man?
Man, playing around, I felt like I wanted to have fun. I felt like I wanted to kind of do a little play on words. And honestly, rest in peace, Pop Smoke. I was a huge Pop Smoke fan, so when I heard the beat, I was like, man, this kind of like Pop Smoke-esque. But I didn't want to sound like Pop Smoke, but I just liked the vibe, UK kind of drill that they kind of was take. So when I heard the beat, I was like, man, let me tap into this and let me see what I can create on it. Let me just have fun, kind of talk my shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of,
drop your nuts.
Yeah, you got to do that sometimes. I feel like it's, especially as a rapper, this is a competitive sport, and I'm very competitive. So I want to show, like, hey, don't get it twisted. I know I do this, like, nice stuff, but at the end of the day, I can get on this and still kick. Yeah, like, I'm here. Like,
for sure.
You know what I mean? So
for sure. Well, look, man, before we get up out of here, I want to let everybody know my name is Illinois Jones. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You can always find me on Instagram and on Twitter as well at Illinois Jones 88. I don't like y'all that much to get y'all my Facebook and Snapchat. But if you really want to find me, just all you have to do is just search Illinois, and you'll be able to find me anywhere and everywhere. And I would say what I would normally say, but that would be rude. So I'm gonna pass it on to my sister, Pretty Riot.
Hey guys, it's been a nice little lit Saturday. If you are watching, I can't say it during breaks no more, but y'all better download that iLLANOiZE app because I'm not playing with you. You watch me on YouTube every week. You see my face on YouTube every week as I switch my hairstyles and switch my makeups, and you still ain't subscribed yet. Now tell me why. You ain't put that up on your phone yet. Now why? I don't know, but the next time I see you, it better be on your phone. In the meantime, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Pretty Riot. My Twitter is at _Pretty Riot. Make sure you see the riot, hear the riot, feel the riot at prettyriot.co. You can visit the website or my Instagram page, and you know I'm going to get you right. And as Jones would say, can I say it?
Come on, we'll say it with you.
Okay, party hard and party safe. And if you can't do both,
stay your ass in the house. There we go. See y'all soon. Let's get it.